Level up, level up, level up.
The screen just kept flashing over and over and over. My heart was pounding in my chest. After what felt like an eternity of grinding against those low-level slimes and goblins, something new finally popped up. Choose your class. Yes, we finally get to choose our class. Lynn was practically bouncing off the walls, his eyes wide with excitement. I watched him tap away at his screen, a huge grin plastered on his face. After a moment, he turned to me. All right, I'm locked in. Sinju, what did you pick? I just gave him a smirk. You'll have to find out. He rolled his eyes. Okay, whatever, Mr. Mysterious, fine. But now that we're both level 15, I think we should go on a hard quest. Something with some real risk, you know? I knew exactly what he meant. I'd been eyeing one myself. Okay, I said, pulling up the quest board. I've been looking at this one for a while. I pointed to a listing that practically pulsed with danger. The Ice and Fire Dragon. Level 18. Lynn's grin returned, wider than before. Ha! Let's go. The air shifted the second we stepped into the dungeon. It grew cold, then hot, then cold again. And then we saw him. The Fire Dragon. It took a single step forward and the entire cavern shook. It let out a roar that wasn't just a sound, it was a physical force, blasting us with a wave of heat and fury. Its eyes burned with an intensity that could melt steel. But looking over at Lynn, I saw the same fire reflected in his own eyes. This wasn't fear. It was pure, unadulterated excitement. Yes, Lynn whispered, a hunter spotting his ultimate prize. An epic showdown. And then he was gone. Lynn rushed forward at nearly the speed of sound, a blur of motion aimed right at the beast. The dragon was fast, though. It swatted one massive, scaly arm, trying to smash him like a bug. Jump, I yelled. But Lynn was already one step ahead. The dragon's claw hit nothing but stone. Then, in a flash of light, I vanished. What, you can teleport? Lynn shouted, barely dodging another swipe from the dragon's arm. Now I'm jealous, he yelled. And as he said it, he slammed his hands on the ground. Chunks of rock erupted from the dungeon floor, trapping the dragon's feet. The fight was brutal. It was a whirlwind of fire, teleportation, and earth-shattering attacks. Hours passed. By the time we landed the final blow, the moon was high in the sky. We were a mess, bruised, bleeding, covered in scars and soot. We had won, but we had paid the price. We both collapsed, panting. We did it, Lynn gasped. I nodded, pulling a small capsule filled with red fluid from my pouch. Here, take this. He looked at it, confused. Where'd you get that from? Remember those small monsters we were fighting earlier? The ones that dropped loot? Lynn's eyes went wide. You didn't get any? He asked, looking at his own empty inventory. I just shook my head. Before he could say anything else, a deep, resonant hum filled the air. The dragon's body began to dissolve into particles of light, and where it lay, a chest materialized. It was a black chest, wreathed in shadows that seemed to writhe and whisper. And then a deep voice echoed in our minds, a voice that felt ancient and powerful. Claim your rewards. We looked at each other, then slowly approached. My hand trembled slightly as I reached out and touched the lid. The moment I did, the chest didn't open. It vanished. But as it disappeared, new words lit up on our screens, describing our reward. My eyes widened as I read the text aloud. A dragon scale cloak. A legendary item. This was it. This was the start of our real journey.